So I said in the previous video that Donald Trump hijacked the Republican Party, but he, along with his MAGA cult, have also just absolutely hijacked the argument of free speech. And they go out here and they act like they're these free speech warriors. They're all about the First Amendment. Elon Musk bought Twitter and said, I'm going to turn this into a digital town square where everyone can come and express their ideas freely. And unpopular speech is absolutely essential to free speech. He made all those arguments, which, by the way, are arguments that I've always made myself, that, yeah, you do have to tolerate unpopular speech in order to have free speech. But he did it all as though he was this free speech warrior. And then what did he do? He turned over the platform to Nazis and white supremacists. He turned over the platform to hate speech and began censoring and silencing anyone who disagreed with him. And Donald Trump does the same thing. He stands up and says, I'm bringing free speech back. And I've literally seen his followers saying, oh, free speech is back. Really? Because for the last 4 years, I've been sitting here in this chair doing content like this. MAGA has never shut up. They have never stopped talking to me. Where in the world they've been silenced and censored, I have no idea. I mean, they might have got a community note on some bullshit post they made. They might have got fact-checked by somebody, but they have been doing nothing but bitching and moaning for the last 4 years. For the last 8 years, we've heard nothing but MAGA go on and on and on. And meanwhile saying they're the champion of free speech while trying to cut down anyone and shut down anyone who disagrees with him. So recently they were having a hearing about NPR funding, and Jasmine Crockett just brought the truth once again to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Take a look.
The Doge agenda isn't about government efficiency. It's about breeding corruption at the expense of the safety of the American people, particularly Americans living in rural or remote parts of the country. They don't care about public safety. They don't care about emergency management, and they don't care about free speech, all of which are harming American people. In fact, I'm going to skip off real quick because they have tried to come for you, Ms. Mayor, and I just want to clarify. You did not work for NPR when those statements were made, did you?
That is correct, Madam
And to
Chair.
be clear, free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say. And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is bullshit. We need to stop playing because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the
gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman.
You know what's funny? Over the years, I can't count the times I've been arguing with a MAGA Republican, and they'd say, I don't watch Fox News, man. I never watch Fox News, but yet they can quote Jesse Waters and Sean Hannity word for word. So yeah, they watch Fox News, and that's their most trusted source, along with Newsmax and all the others. They believe everything that they say, and they believe that anything else anyone else says is fake news. And that's because Donald Trump has preconditioned and brainwashed them into thinking that. And when I first started doing this kind of content, I got to be honest with you, I felt guilty for saying words like brainwashed, and I tried to avoid them at first, and I felt guilty about saying things like they're in a cult. But the further we got in the weeds with it, the more clear it became. And now I feel it's an injustice to not say that they're brainwashed. I feel it's an injustice to not say that they're in a cult, because they clearly are. And Jasmine Crockett is absolutely right there. As long as they're saying what they want to say, they want to be able to say it with no consequences, but they really don't give a rat's ass about free speech. And here is Marjorie Taylor Greene proving Jasmine Crockett's point. Take a look.
Yep. Anybody else?
Should the Defence Secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
The UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your
Vice
fake news.
President
Do you have a
and your
relevant
defense
question?
secretary?
Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asking.
I'm not answering her question
All right,
because
I'll
I
ask
don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can
Do you
answer.
have any concerns?
I like how she said, I'll talk to an American journalist, and then he turned it on her and said, okay, then answer her question. I cut it off before she had a chance to answer because I got really tired of looking at her face. But, of course, she went ahead and blamed it on Joe Biden. It's all Joe Biden's fault. That's what they do. When they get backed into a corner, when they get held accountable for the things they say, suddenly everything becomes Joe Biden's fault. But don't ever let MAGA tell you that they're the party of free speech. They're the party of the First Amendment. They're not. They're not even the party of the Second Amendment. And I know a lot of people would say, huh, what? No, I really believe tomorrow if Donald Trump came out and said, all right, everybody, give me your guns and I will protect you from the radical left lunatics because I don't want y'all to hurt yourself. Every redneck in my part of the world would get in their pickup truck and drive to D.C. and go down on one knee in front of him. And here you go, sir. I really believe that. And I know people think I'm crazy, but I don't think they're for anything they say they're for. And I have to give Bill Maher credit on one thing. I'm usually giving Bill Maher a hard time here on the channel. I've made several videos of coming at things he said because it was so over the top ridiculous. But when someone gets it right, I wanna point it out. And he was talking with Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil said, you know, do you think that the extreme left has taken over the Democratic Party? And he said, well, I could say that about the Republicans, except he said I wouldn't say that it's extreme right. And now here lately on the channel, I've been saying the radical right, which they are definitely radical. But Bill Maher said they're not even really right. They're just all behind Trump. It's just Trumpism. It's whatever he says that day is what goes. He's like, it's not really to the right to be for Russia, to be constantly, you know, blowing Russia. And I was like, you know, he's got a point. And they're really not. It's just they're all behind Donald Trump. And so whatever he says that day is what they're for. And if they're for free speech, they're for whatever speech he's telling them to say on that particular day. And then, you know, we've saw them jump through the hoops with him every time and change. We've saw their opinions and stances change. We saw him tell them who to boo and when to boo, and they do. 1 minute people like that is applauding Mitch McConnell. The next minute they're booing him out of the room. And we've seen that happen so many times. Hell, we've seen it happen with the people that's down in Trump's cabinet. We saw Trump call RFK Jr. a radical Democrat. He was a radical left lunatic. He said Bobby's one of the most radical left people out there. Don't be fooled by him. And now he's in his cabinet. He said that Elon Musk was another bullshit artist. I mean, he has lit, and the crowd cheered. That's what I'm saying. The crowd cheered when he said that about RFK Jr. They cheered when he used to say things about Elon Musk. And I'm sure there's other people I'm forgetting off the top of my head in his cabinet that he said the same things about. Then he surrounded Marco Rubio. Don't forget him. Good Lord. I mean, he's absolutely went after everybody. But then when he can use them to his advantage, he's all for it. And then MAGA's all for it. So if Trump came out tomorrow and said shut down Fox News, MAGA would be for it. If he said open them back up, they're the greatest thing ever, MAGA would be for it. And I said all along, as he was running last year, I said all this presidency is going to be about is revenge and retribution. It's just going to be him trying to pay everyone back, and that's exactly what it's been. And it's not just revenge and retribution for him, but his followers, they fight vicariously through him. So they're wanting to win too. And to them, a win would be to take down, you know, someone's channel, to take down someone's page, to cancel someone. Meanwhile, they're the very party that sits back and yells about cancel culture. They're total hypocrites. There's no other way to say it. There's not a nicer way for me to put it. They're straight up hypocrites, and they're truly delusional. It's not just about their hypocrisy. It's just about the level of delusion they have is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I'm a true crime junkie, okay? I can't count the times that I have sat and watched true crime documentaries. I have studied the Manson family. I have studied Jonestown, which honestly I think is one of the more disturbing ones. But I don't know anymore if it's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. Because I think what's more disturbing is seeing so many people who I thought were good people at one point in my life get behind this radical ideology and get behind this one dude so hardcore that they would throw away anyone that disagreed with them. Meanwhile, they try to gaslight and blame it and say it's our fault. But I've seen so many people go down that road. And the thing I'll never understand is there is good people out there who would be here if you needed them. If you needed them, you could call them. They'd be right there for you. They'd help you any way they could. They'd give you the shirt off their back. I know that's a cliche. Sometimes I get tired of saying it, but they really would. They would give you the last bite of food they had in their home. But then you mention Donald Trump, and you say something against him, and a side of them will come out like you've never seen before. And suddenly they're one of the most just disgusting people you've ever seen. And you're like, how can you be side by side in the same body? I'll never understand it. But they're not the party of free speech, and I'm never going to let them call them that. And like I said, every day someone's saying, can't wait till it's shut down, Brando. Can't wait till I never have to hear you again. Well, there's unfollow buttons. There's unsubscribe buttons. I'm not subscribed to Tim Pool, and I scroll right on past him when I see him talking. So, and he's free to say that shit. I mean, even if he is paid by Russia, he can say what the hell he wants to say. It's just ridiculous. We're going to continue to call it out. We're not going to back down. We're not going to stop. So I appreciate y'all's support here on the channel. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do so. I really appreciate y'all. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers. And we will keep speaking out because we are the party of free speech. They're just the party of Donald Trump. That's it.